Unpopular Opinions, episode 21. Having an ex as a friend is a green flag. Conventional wisdom is generally that someone who's friends with their ex is still hung up on said ex. Certainly true in some cases, but if you are over, say, 30, random benchmark, don't kill me, and don't have any relationships with an ex, I wonder. Okay, I'll leave it here. You guys can read the rest. Me, personally, I wouldn't want to be friends with my ex, that's for sure. Because, I mean, obviously, this really just comes down to just different situations. So for me, would I be friends with my ex? No, because my ex is fucking trash. It just really comes down to the person. You know, sometimes when you end a relationship with someone that you're dating, sometimes it's for the better, where it's very simple, like it just didn't work out, you guys didn't really connect that way, but you guys can still probably be friends afterward. There's other cases where you just don't want to be friends with them because, I don't know, maybe they fucking cheated on your ass, or maybe they're just a terrible person. Maybe they have so many red flags that you decided to leave them because they are just a freaking psycho. There's a whole bunch of reasons. So this person saying having an ex as a friend is a green flag, I mean, it just really depends on what happened or what went down. But for the most part, I wouldn't be friends with my ex. And honestly, if my partner was friends with their ex, I might see that as like, you know what, that's cool. But I personally wouldn't really like that. I think with me, I think I would rather much just have the ex out of the picture, and that's it. I don't know. That's how I see it. Maybe that's just me or something like that. But yeah, like, I just rather have the ex out of the picture. And also the person I'm dating, I would rather them have their ex out of the picture too. But I mean, hey, that's just me. So I disagree with this. Next one is, even when you count $60 to $80 games, video games are the best value for money entertainment available for American consumers by far. One video game can provide hundreds of hours of entertainment. You can easily buy amazing old video games like Borderlands, Skyrim, Last of Us, Witcher, etc. for as low as $10 and pay for hundreds of hours. I'll leave it here for the rest of you guys. And I was actually thinking about this on the way to work. I don't know, like I don't know why I was randomly thinking about like video game prices, but it's true. Honestly, like, video games being 60 to 80 is still pretty valuable in terms of what you get out of it. You pay $60 or $80 for a game, you will play it for quite a decent amount of time, rather than going to the movies where you will pay $40, you know, if it's you and another person, because movie tickets are pretty pricey. They're like 16 or $20 a ticket. I'm like, god damn, bro, like those like XD seats, that shit better start sucking me off. I don't know. Anyway, but like, you go pay tickets for a movie and you'll be there for maybe like an hour and a half or an hour and 20. Most of the time, just like an average movie, you'll be there for like an hour and a half, and you'll spend $40. I would rather spend $40 on a game that I know I would play for more than just an hour and 30 minutes. Like I said, that's a movie. I know for a fact that if I buy a game, I'll probably play it for at least like 5 hours. Like, that's the least amount of time. If the game is really good, then I will play it for way more than that. But yeah, like, honestly, you get a real bang for your buck when it comes to video games. And also books too. Books are free. You're gonna spend so much time reading books at libraries too. Very cheap. But yeah, like $60 to $80, it does suck, because eventually I feel like you know the gaming industry might go to $100 games. I mean, Nintendo's at $90 games. That's crazy. $100, like, that's a lot of money, man. That is a lot of money. Although I still feel like you do get, you know, most of it back, because you will play that game for quite a long time, at least I'm presuming. So it is a very tough issue. I hate that games are starting to cost more? Yes, I do. Although it is kind of reasonable just because of inflation. And it's crazy how back then games used to be $60 like consistently. You know, like a game like maybe 5 or 8 years ago, yeah, that used to be $60. And the fact that it was kind of consistent that entire time without going through inflation, that was really cool. And games are getting way more expensive, so it does make sense why some of them want to charge, you know, a bit more. It does suck because it's the thing we love, and you know, people hate change. Like I said, the video game industry, it was $60 a game, and that was so consistent. When it finally starts to raise up in price, yes, you know, we draw heads and all that stuff. People start batting an eye. But like, it is reasonable. I do hate it because I have to spend more. No one likes to spend more because everyone's broke. It'd be like that. But when you look at it more of like in a bubble, it does make sense why they are being more expensive, and you still get a lot of bang for your buck in that sense. So yeah, this is a very iffy topic. But I would love to hear what you guys think about this one. And then the last one is not being serious in your 20s is a recipe for failure. Okay, I'm gonna just leave it here. I feel like this person thinks that people, I mean, yes, they say like, you know, your 20s, you're supposed to have fun and all that stuff. I feel like this person thinks that people in their 20s are just goofing off, not doing shit, just probably going around clubbing, partying all the time, which some of them are, I will say that. But I do feel like the most of us, like me, like I'm 20, I just turned 23, and I am, you know, goofing around. Like I'll go hang out with my friends in the night, you know, I will stay up pretty late, but I'm also working on what I want to do in the future for sure. You know, I'm spending my whole 20 to 29 goofing around, just experimenting, just doing a whole bunch of stuff, but also, you know, knowing that I do have a future ahead of me, so I'm not gonna do anything too crazy to ruin that, you know. So yeah, I feel like this person saying that people are not serious in your 20s is a recipe for failure. I wouldn't say, I don't know, this person thinks that everyone's just not serious at all. I think some of us are, and also just like, this is such a vague thing to do, you know. Like, do they mean that, you know, someone who's just partying, is that not being serious, or just not taking your life serious when it comes to your career? I don't know. There's a lot of things that this person probably might be thinking of, but I guess I see it as more of like, this person thinks that people in their 20s are just partying a lot and that's really it. I don't think so. At least for me, I probably go out every now and then, but I do feel like a lot of us are just trying to get by and just figure out what the hell we want to do, because there's so many things changing. Like, the future is crazy, bro. I think right now it's just hard for us to figure out, like, just me, like, yeah, I'm just saying, like, I guess my group in our 20s, it's just hard to figure out like what we want to do and what we can do to survive, because everything's so expensive. I can barely afford an apartment and all stuff. That's why I still live with my parents, bro. Like, I don't know, there's just a lot of stuff. So I think this person's being a bit too rough, and at least people in the 20s. Maybe I'm biased because I am in this age range that they're dissing, but I don't know, that's just me. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.